Alright, so the project at hand today is changing a glow plug on this 2017 F350. It's Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. I'm going to be changing the number 7 cylinder. I had a check engine light on for a glow plug. So, pretty crammed up in here. So we're going to the wheel well to get to it. Got my new glow plug. Some may say, why don't you change all of them? But my theory is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because I've had too many bad experiences where I've tried to fix something more than I should have and ended up being a nightmare. So, let's get after it. Alright, so I got the tire off. I got the fender well out. Here, I took that out and took it over and washed it off, got all the dirt off it, so when I put it back together, I'm not getting covered in dirt. Bunch of screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another screw up here, a push pin over here, another push pin over here. Kind of a lot of stuff, and it's all got to go back together somehow, which is going to be a pain. But so we'll find out how that goes. Anyway, but I'm going after number 7, which is somewhere up in there. I don't know where. I gotta fight to find it. Right there's a belt for the front of the engine. So I don't know how I'm gonna get in there yet. I gotta figure that all out. But I'm going after number 7. I'm thinking I can almost see it from here. All right, now I got some better lighting up in here. Up in here, back there, you probably can't even see the thing because it. Right there. I gotta loosen that up. There's a heat shield that covers the engine and the fuel rail, which is behind that, and then behind that is where I can get to the glow plug. So once I get that out of the way, then I should be able to get the glow plug out. Lighting's pretty tough down here. All right, and that's the heat cover for the fuel rail and the glow plugs, which are behind that. But now you can see down there, fuel rail, your fuel lines, fuel filter. And now I gotta find a glow plug, which I think is back down on the side. I can't tell from here. I'm almost certain it's down underneath the side. But let's see. I think it's all plugged in up here. That's the one thing I gotta check. Make sure everything's plugged in, because it's kind of weird to have a code thrown. Let's see. Lighting's pretty poor. Here. Alright, so I got the plug off now. See that blue thing? That's the plug. I just pried that up with a screwdriver and it popped right off. Kind of like a spark plug. And now I'm going for the hole just above that to the left. And I'm going to try to get the glow plug out with my 8mm extension. Then I got to try to fish it out of there because it's deep in there a little bit. So, alright, well, after all that, I'm testing the old glow plug on the bench. I'm reading 0 ohms. So the glow plug tested fine. I still changed it anyway because I already had the thing here. But I think the computer needs to be reflashed, which obviously I can't do. It's not a Ford dealer. So button it back up. We'll take it to the dealer and have them flash it and call it a day. Alright, so I'm done with the F350. I changed the glow plug. Check engine light cleared, but it still says it's permanent code. I'm thinking if it doesn't clear itself or it comes back on, it's got to be reflashed. So obviously a dealer thing. So now we're back to this tilt cab again. I got new tensioner and this new valve, blow-off valve for the bottom of the tank. What do they call that? I don't know. Valve. We'll see if he actually knows what he's doing. Alright, well, now we got Buddy Dan over here. He's working on this T250. Buddy Dan, tell us what you're doing.
Everything, because you're not doing anything.
I'm doing everything. He's not doing anything, is what he said. He's freaking fisting this machine.
Oh.
Guy's greasy.
You can't fit in here.
Say it again, Dan.
You can't fit in here.
Like his nuts. out. Here's a new one next to it, just comparing everything, making sure it's all the same. Looks the same to me, pretty good. But what I'm trying to do, see where I'm looking. No, it ain't break time yet. Can't even mount the thing anywhere. But there's just a very slight amount of play in this thing that isn't even visually being able to see, but you can feel it. And then when you spin the wheel, you can hear it. Compared to the new one, I can't even just spin the thing freely because it's such a nice new bearing. But anyway, you can't hear anything, and there's no play. So just enough, just barely, but enough that you know, May 1st when this breaks, it's gonna be pretty annoying to have to stop and fix it. So we're getting it done now. All right, we're back now. I got my tensioner in. This project's pretty much done. I just got to change a little valve underneath the air tank. But these tilt cabs, a little trick for you. One trick is don't buy one, because they're expensive to fix. They are nice to work on because you don't have to die, you know, crawling in the engine bay. But they're very expensive to fix. But anyway, when you're lifting and lowering the cab, open the doors. It makes it a lot easier to lower the cab. Buddy Dan's working on this thing still. He's got the battery out. He's got the engine in two pieces. He's trying to pull the cab off here. I don't know what. Going into this little side here to get the tensioner. For the hydraulic belt, drive belt.
I'll get the tensioner now. I'm doing the hose.
We're taking the belt off. He's a honk. Alright, it's the end of the day now. A lot of stuff going on around here. This is off that Isuzu truck, but I'll just use it as an example. We had to pull the drive wheel out of that skid steer, because it had a little bit of play in it. Plus the surface right here was grooved pretty bad. So I called the dealer and they wanted $370 for a new wheel. And I said, oh hell no. I'm not paying that kind of money. And then I said, well, maybe I should just replace the bearings and I'll get the wheel machined. So I called back and they had prices for bearings for the inside of the wheel, and it was $182. So I then called a couple bearing places around here and I was able to find bearings for like $28 a piece. Two of them, like that. $28 a piece. So I got those. They're in the freezer now, cooling down, and the wheel's out getting machined. New belt. I don't know what else. Got some books in there. But now we're over onto this project. I started that while buddy Honk Dan went out for a little parts run. Probably got some food while he was out.
No, I didn't. I thought about it, but I didn't.
He thought about it. Who doesn't think about it? Now I'm working on this Isuzu that I had brought up in a couple other of my videos here. I just cut this whole frame out, the section that was here. You can see it's where it ends. I'm going to drop a whole new piece in there, a solid tube. Custom built frame. It's a really weird size. It's like 3 5/8 by 2.5 or something really whacked out. So I'm going to build my own frame, fully boxed with a 1/4-inch plate. This cross member here is getting removed, and we're going to put a piece of 3-inch channel in there. You can see how nasty that side is. Maybe need like a bunch of holes up in there. The whole bottom's all rusted out. So I got to grind a little bit more here. New frame going in, and then I'm going to probably drill these holes out a little bit bigger, and I'll put a piece of C-channel and weld the C-channel to the new frame here and bolt it down here. So it should be a lot stronger, and this back corner is going to survive the rest of the truck's life with us. So, all right, that's Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Any final words, buddy Dan?
Go buy a Bobcat T250 and try to replace all sorts of stuff in it. And then it'll break.
Listen, this machine's almost got 4,000 hours on it.
Well, it's gonna be burned to the ground tomorrow.
You won't even be here tomorrow.
Thursday. I'll burn it to the ground.
He's mad because he broke a bolt. Up in here. See that wheel there? How it's like pushed in too far? I tried loosening it up to bring the wheel out and retighten it. And the nut broke, so now we had to take the whole thing off and put it on a bench. Safety first. Work safely.
Yep.
Alright, it's Wednesday now. Got my new frame built. I got all this cut out yesterday. I built this morning. It's a 3/16" flat stock. I used a plasma cutter and a sheet steel to cut everything out. And a 2.5 on the top because it's like a 3 5/8 frame. It's really weird. But fully boxed. This notch cut out for the hinge to fall down into. So I got to weld it up here and there, here, here, and then I'm gonna plate that right there. So, yep, and to the other side. And I gotta fill this hole in. Alright, and this is the final product here. And my whole new tube in there, like I said earlier, fully boxed in there. Besides, I had to cut this opening out for the hinge. I added this piece of channel, bolted it down to the truck frame with an existing hole. Welded the gusset back in place. Plate welded in here. Oh, that's hot. The gap in between my new piece and my old piece. And then I gotta do is grind down the seam right here. Look at that weld, huh? That is a nice weld. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think this section of frame here is probably gonna outlast the rest of the truck. But hopefully I won't be back here fixing this ever again. Besides everything else, it's gonna fall apart, but whatever. Alright, all end of the day now here. Just got reset over on this side now. My welder, my plasma cutters. I switched sides now. Plasma cutters on the other side of the truck. My metal bench right there, ready to go. Get my materials to plasma cut, but first order of business tomorrow is going to be cutting this fuel neck off. Then the mud flap. And then I got to cut this back to the same. How am I going to do that? I don't know. We'll figure that out when the time comes, I guess. This jack stands in the way. But if I cut it off, I don't know. This one might be a little shorter. I don't know yet. I haven't really looked into it. But a couple changes, little things different. I might end it right here on this side, which is a couple inches shorter on it than the other side. But unless I can get this thing off in one piece. If I can get this off in one piece, I'll re-weld it on there. But we'll see. Don't know at this point. But same idea. And then this cross member here is going to come out. And I'll put a C channel in there. 3-inch channel. And I got to reinstall the mud flap. And I was thinking about moving the cones on the truck to that back side. I don't know yet. We'll see how everything adds up together. So, looking good. And then we're going to sandblast the underbody here. And repaint the frame. This was supposed to be the last, actually 2 years ago, this was supposed to be the last year we had this truck. And here we are now. So, still running it. Other news, this paper trailer's coming along. Putting all these tools in it. Looking good.